Hey, Christ Community Church. I am unable to speak in person at church, and so I wanted to share with you a little bit of what the Lord has been teaching me this summer, because I do feel a responsibility to share, uh, even if it's not in person. I thank you for taking the time to watch this and to listen and maybe learn a little bit as I've learned. So I was a camp counselor this summer at Yellowstone Alliance Adventures in Bozeman, Montana, as most of you know, and it was incredible. I learned a lot, and there's one story in particular that I'd like to share with you. It was the third week of the summer, and at this point, I'm just tired, burnt out a little bit, and I have this really intense cabin. I had 10 campers, and 4 of them were Mormons, and one of them was super steeped in postmodern thought and challenged me on everything, and theologically and not. And then 2 others were confirmed atheists, and the others were, they didn't know, I didn't know. It was an intense cabin. And long story short, I found myself really hurt over their lack of faith and belief in Jesus, and I really, really badly wanted them to be saved, for them to know of the salvation, of the hope that I have, which in and of itself is not a bad desire, I suppose, but a friend of mine reminded me of something, of a truth that is good for all of us to hear, I think. She told me that I am not Jesus. I cannot save my campers, even if that's exactly what I wanted to do for them. Save them from their sins. And while this isn't something I would explicitly tell you that I was trying to do, but the effort I was putting into it was, I wanted to offer them salvation. And so I say to you, you are not Jesus. You cannot save anybody from their sins. But the truth is, Jesus invites us, commands us, but it's also an invitation to make disciples of all nations, to spread the gospel. And this is not a task we're created to do alone. Jesus himself invites us to work alongside him. There's a parable that he teaches in Matthew 11. It's a famous passage where he teaches that all should come to him, all who are weary and heavy laden, and he will give you rest. And right after that, he talks about this yoke. He says, "Take my yoke upon you." Take his yoke. And the metaphor he's employing here has to do with a 2 oxen team, where there's one yoke and both oxen are pulling. But a younger oxen would come along, an ox who is more experienced, and then the younger ox would learn from the older ox. And so Jesus says, "Take my yoke upon you, for my burden is light, and learn from me." And Jesus invites us to learn from him. And so I was reminded of that passage, as my friend told me. I am indeed not Jesus. Um, and I made the conscious effort to work alongside Jesus as he invited me to do. And as he promises, I found rest. I found rest in the work, in working with Jesus. So I encourage you to work with Jesus. Work alongside him as he invites you, and he will give you rest. There are many other things that I learned this summer. And if you want to hear about them, you can ask me. I'd be happy to share. Yeah. I love each and every one of you. I'm so thankful for your prayers. Thank you.